Palestinian affairs expert and former COGAT advisor. I guess we begin with the prison break here. There's so many other big issues to talk about, but this prison break, I think it's already been heralded or celebrated by Hamas in some statements here. What do we know about these escaped prisoners, and how big of a boost is this essentially for Israel's enemies?
Well, it's an unusual event, you know. It happened last time at 2014, and 2 or 3 times before. The first one, as much as I remember, was in the first Intifada in 87. While 6 prisoners from the Islamic Jihad ran away from the prison and started the first Intifada in Gaza. Now we're speaking about 6 prisoners, dangerous, all of them. 5 belong to the Islamic Jihad, and 1 belonged to the military branch of the Fatah movement. All those 6 together were planning this event, running from the prison for months. The local place that they belong to is Jenin district. Jenin is the northern city in the West Bank, and for sure, no doubt about it, that they were planning previous their operation, and I think that few people, maybe more of that, are waiting for them in Jenin city to hide them, to bring them food, you know.
They got the head start that allegedly they did here. These prisons just over the hill from Jenin, as you mentioned here, they're almost surely already embedded deep in the West Bank here. I guess speaking to a larger operation to come, is that what we can assume from the intelligence services, or what's the protocol for that?
Well, no doubt that it's a wide problem for the Israeli prison service. But I think now, after it happened, it's kind of a movie, you know, but after it happened, I think it's the most important goal for the Shabak, the Israeli intelligence agency, to find them. This is the most, it's immediately, it's emergency. I think that there are a lot of forces belong to the police, to the IDF, to the Shabak, the agency, Israeli intelligence, the main goal is to prevent any option of planning terror attack also, like hostage kidnapped and so on. And the main goal of the Shabak is to put its hand on them, to find them immediately. I can let you know that the IDF closed the border to Jordan, not to let them the opportunity to cross the border to the east, and there are IDF closure on Jenin district, you know, not all the city, but the main roads, to prevent any option to run away also from Jenin to other district. And there are a lot of steps that the Israeli prison service doing right now inside the prisons to try to not to let the other prisoners to motivate to planning another digging of tunnels and so on. No doubt that this operation is, I will say, raising the prestige, the reputation of the Islamic Jihad inside and outside of the prisons, also in Gaza Strip.
Now, what's playing out? I mean, taking this event in context here, we've seen a lot of activity not only on the Gaza Strip front, go into that, but also on the West Bank. I mean, Benny Gantz, the defense minister, just there engaging with the Palestinian Authority. We seem to understand security coordination is still a functional aspect of the Israeli-Palestinian Authority relationship. What's the bigger strategy at play right now? Is it strengthening the PA? What's going on with Hamas?
Of course, it's also, I would say, decrease the prestige of the PA also, because the PA considers the organization or the regime that continue cooperate with the Israeli forces and the Israeli government, and I think it will put a negative light on the PA, on the reputation of the PA, while the PA continue cooperate with the Israelis security agencies. At the same time, those, I would say, national organizations, terror organizations, but Islamic Jihad, Fatah, and Hamas as well, continue to fight the Israeli organizations.
What do you expect from the Egyptian efforts now to broker something between Israel and Hamas, or the Palestinians at large?
Well, Egypt play, I would say, main role during the last weeks. We are speaking about another thing, a meeting between Prime Minister Bennett and Sisi, the Egyptian president. I think that in this time there is, I would say, I would not say strong, but intensive connection between and relationship between the Israeli forces and the Egyptian about the Gaza Strip, I would say, planning of those terror organizations as led by Hamas. I think that the most important thing for Israel is to keep the good connection with Egypt, because consideration between those two states is important for, I would say, the stability, the security. The security, stability in Gaza, in the northern front. Israel prefer to do it with Egypt because, you know, there are two windows to the Gaza Strip.
Shared interest between Israel.
Exactly the same Egypt. Interest, shared interest. It's, you know, a kind of, it's a, I would say, it's not a game, but there is a yard. In this yard, in this area, there are few players. Egypt, Israel, Qatar, we have to mention Qatar, and the PA. Those four players try to share interest about Gaza Strip. Nothing is obvious, nothing is easy. It's a question of time. It will take time.
Alon Eviatar, thanks for getting into a lot of issues here. Again, it's a developing story with the prison and, of course, larger issues with Gaza and the West Bank. Thanks for being with us.